So I made this track to demonstrate this clean tone because I've spent probably, I don't want to say a total of like hours, but probably 1 hour in total trying to search for how to do like a ambient clean thall tone, this guy here. And what I really thought it was pretty much just like taking a clean tone and distorting it and kind of adding some maybe ambient layers or something like that, a certain way you would do the reverb. But I actually found out that apparently the way you search for these is Milton Cleans, and I guess bands like Tesseract and stuff like that made it popular. Me personally, I've never really listened to Tesseract. I may have heard a song, but yeah, I'm pretty much going to go ahead and show you how to get this for thall tones. And I just want to kind of make a note that this works way better if you have like a coil split feature and you can do single coils. You'll get a way sharper kind of like crystal cutting tone. So I'll run you through the chain I have right here. In Gojira X, I'm using the default clean amp here. And basically one thing I've learned is you turn off the cab. So let's just run through everything kind of individually. So this would be like my clean tone here. Not too bad. I've got gain pretty much rolled all the way off. It's just up like a hair. The bright is up, bass all the way down, mid cranked down a little bit. Treble, I played around with a little bit, but I like it centered. Output, I did have to take it up a little bit. And because, I have humbuckers, I reduced the output, or I'm sorry, I reduced the input. Just make a note here, I am in drop G, and this song is in F. The Kiesel's in F, but that thing really needs strings right now. So yeah, this, and then if we go ahead and take off these effects, this is just the amp, how you would have it just with the amp settings. So super basic, super kind of dry, nothing exciting going on. And if we introduce the delay, gives it a little bit of bounce, and then obviously reverb will kind of widen it. Now if we take the IR, if we take the cab off, it makes it a much more open tone, if that makes sense. It feels less restricted, less confined, less refined. Now the other big secret to this is you will have a pitch shifter before your signal. And for this, I'm just using kilohertz. I ramped this thing up 12. I ramped this thing up 1 octave. And here's how it sounds. Let's make sure the cab's back off. I can't remember. Yep, it is. So we'll just go ahead and turn this off real quick. And then back on. And sometimes, depending on the song, I like to mix this at about 50%, but sometimes you can kind of like adjust it way down and still get the same effect. But because everything is a little bit muddy in this little mix, I like to put it at 50%, so a lot of that sharper kind of glass sounding tone is a little bit more forward. I just wanted to run through this one last time. I forgot that I had this EQ kind of set up. All I've really done is taken a little bit out of 1K. I've bumped up 4K a little bit, taken out of 8K, and then just rolled off completely at 16K. And that's just kind of to roll off a lot of the sharpness. 4K was a little bit of boost in like the higher mids. And then 1K, there was like a weird kind of, there was just, I don't know, there was just something weird going on there. So if we go back to Pro Q here, I've taken out everything below 500 hertz because this is up past the 12th fret on the guitar. So I really don't need anything lower there. And then I've taken out everything above 5700, which makes me think, why did I even cut out or ramp up an 8K in this? Or no, I ramped down. So that's kind of useless, honestly. Yeah, but there, as you can hear, there's a lot of sharp tones with this off, and then with it on, kind of helps refine it a little bit. And then to get rid of a couple of those extra little sharp tones, I just used a clipper and got rid of a couple of those. And here it's not doing too much, but honestly, when I was playing around with a bunch of settings, I kind of had things up, cutting the tail off the top of it, and it was helping. So I'd say clipper, unless you have like a very hot input, clipper won't matter too much. The only thing it's doing in this case is kind of bumping the volume up because I have the in gain up, and that's just to help it sit heavier in the mix. And that's just to help it sit a little bit more forward in the mix. So if we go ahead and just listen to it, maybe at this section. And then if we listen to it without the clipper, for example. It gets very lost in there. So like I said, I'm pretty much just using it sort of as like a volume boost, but cutting off anything that may reach above that peak. And that's pretty much how I got that tone. So if you have a way to coil tap, or you have a single coil pickup or a single coil guitar that you want to use just for your cleans, you'll get a way crisper tone and it'll sound more glass-like, if that makes sense. I kind of wish I had something to show that. I think once I restring the keys, I'll be able to kind of dive a little bit deeper into that because it's got a 5-way switch. So I might be able to experiment with the difference between like full-on neck pickup and then coil split. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this one. I just wanted to kind of showcase something that took me forever to find on YouTube because apparently I was searching the wrong terms. As far as I'm concerned, nobody really has like a thaw ambient tone. So we'll just give it one more playthrough. And yeah, honestly, I hope you guys come up with something even better because I'd be curious to hear it.